Hello all, welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to explain about how we can implement the validation on HTML control. So there are two kind of concept in there in Angular. One is called template driven form, second is called reactive form. In this example, I'm going to show you how we can implement the validation on template driven form. In some other tutorial, we will discuss about the reactive form. So before proceeding further, if you have not followed me on Instagram and Facebook, here is the link. Please follow me there. And now I'm going to open the Visual Studio Code and let me open the HTML and component. So on the component, first I'm going to add one object. I'll say model of type any and will say equal to as an object. And now I'll open HTML. So inside this I will add two text box and will implement the validation. So I'll say form. Inside this form I will say div, and inside this div I will add one text box, type text, name. I'll say name. So we can put anything here, but as of now I'll say name. So now I will add ng model for the two-way binding, and here I'll say model. So whatever the object I taken on the TS file, so model dot the random property, anything. And here I'll say one reference variable which hold the ng model, and also will disable the autofill data. Save it. And with this I'm going to add the one button, input type submit, where is submit, and value. Let me save it and save the data. So now I'm going to run this application using ngserve and we'll see the result on the browser. Now application compiled successfully. Let me open the browser and say localhost 4200. So here we'll see one text box with the button. See, but here one thing is there, that there is no validation error message. Like I think I can enter something or I can remove the data and then press OK. But I would like to show the error message if it is empty, right? So what I have to do here, I will add the required attribute, which is the HTML property. It is not the Angular property, right? So inside this div I will show the message for the mandatory data. So here I will use ng if. Now this is the concept of Angular. So name with this invalid, and also I'll add here reference variable register and which hold the ng form. So inside this I will say please enter value. So this will display the message if the text box will empty. Let me see here. See, now this text box is empty, that is why it showed the value. If I press anything, it goes off. But now what happened, there is one issue. If I reload this page, you see if we have 10 text box, then error message will be displayed when the browser load first time. But I don't want to show the error message when it's load. I want to show the error message when it's empty or when I entering something and removing the data. Okay, so in this case I will add one more validation here. Say name dot dirty or name dot touched. Let me show you what does it mean, dirty and touched. See, dirty means if I hover and click inside this text box, then it become touched. I have touched this text box, and when I click outside, then it shows the error message because it was invalid and this property become true. So both the condition become true. That is why it shows the error message. So touch means if I click inside this and click outside, then I have touched this text box. Now what is dirty? Dirty means if I type anything, it's become dirty. Even if I remove the value, it's remain dirty, right? That means when you write inside anything, it's become dirty and touched both. That is why it shows the value, correct? So in this form we can enable and disable and show and hide the data whatever the value we would like to show here. So this is for the simple text box, and we can also show that and like uh, some min length kind of we can put the like in this type box I would say min length would be 4. If below 4 character it shows the error message like I saw 1 2 3 4, right? So it's if it is match the length, then it's become valid, otherwise it shows the it's remain invalid. Okay, so in this you can put the required and then second min length and then max length. So now let me add the email, because for the email there is a format, we need to check the format of an email. So for this I will add one div. Inside this div I will add same text box, just copy and paste here. Only I will need to change this email, and let me say here email ng model and required property will be there. One more I need to say here email for to validate the format of an email, correct? And the same thing, I mean the same see the same syntax will be used for email. Just copy and replace with the email and enter email, save it. Okay, let me add some text so that it easily identify. Span, I'll say it is for the name, and here I will use the span for email. Perfect. This is for name, this is for email. So if I click here and if I try to enter the value or replace it, okay, one thing, it should show the error message because it is invalid. Let me check what is the error. Okay, it says email.test is invalid. Let me see why. Yes, because this name I will replace with the email, save it. Now this time it work. So if I touched and click outside, it says please enter email because it is invalid. Now what happen if I say like this is an email address, this is invalid, right? So in this case it should also display an error message, please enter valid email address. So I need to add some more text here. On the email text box there are two kind of validation are there. First, it is required. The second, format of an email. With the format of an email it should be at the rate. At the rate is mandatory in the email format. So there are two kind of emails, there are two kind of validations there. So let me add more code here. So first, inside this condition I will remove this text, and inside this div I will add two div, one div for the required and second div for the format. I'll say asterisk ngf, and for this I'll say here email dot errors dot required. This is for the required. So here I can say please enter email, and for the format checking I will add one more div, and on this div will add one more ngf email dot errors dot email. Now this will check the format of an email. Please enter valid email. Save it. Let's see. So this is working as expected. Now if I click here and remove the data, so first one is the validation work, please enter email, right? Now the second, it should work, it should say the error message for the valid email. So once I put the at the rate and enter anything, it goes off. That means now it's become the valid format. That is why the error message was there, to enter valid email. So in this way we can check the validation for email and the text box, and different kind of validation we can put over here, and just and copy and paste the same thing, and we can show the error message for different thing. Even for min length, max length, we can add the custom error message for every kind of validation. Now one more thing I would like to show you here. For example, how I can restrict this text box. I can click even if I, let me show you. I will add one and will pass the this reference variable. Now this method is there. I need to display on the TS file. So this kind of this way I will implement this form. So let me show you the form, type any, and we'll console this, and we'll say what are the properties and attributes are there inside this variable. Save it. So this is very important to restrict this text box after filling all the value. Let me show you the console. Just remove it. If I click on OK, see my console printed here, and inside this form it says status is invalid because we have put the validation, some validation here which are invalid currently. That is why the whole form become invalid. So if I press anything here which is valid, or if I press anything which is valid at the rate, and then I'll click again once again, now this time the status will be valid. Now if it is any one of the control is invalid, and if you click again here, you will found that the form is invalid. So in this way you can restrict your code, that your code will not going to run further after if the status is invalid, right? So here you can write your own logic. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any question regarding this kind of tutorial or previous tutorial, so please mention the question in the comment section. I will be very happy to answer. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and share the link with others, and also please press the bell icon in order to receive the notifications. Thank you so much.